I think young people should be very interested in joining the industry, the insurance industry, because there is such a great need that's not only right now, but even more so on the horizon. The generation that's exiting the industry within the next couple of years is creating a big gap. And I think that we need to be mindful of what we can do to attract that next generation, because as an industry, we're not doing a very good job of that. But if we can prove the concept of what millennials relate to, being that we're socially conscious, that we are helping society, because it's not just about money for millennials, then I think we'll hit the sweet spot.
Yeah, I think building on that, one of the things that we were going to talk about was the attributes that would make the insurance industry attractive to the millennials and this younger generation. And if you think about it, you've got to position yourself to want to attract them to join. So things like work-life balance, and Bijan referenced the fact that money really isn't everything to them. Certainly it's important to everybody, but that isn't really the driving force as to how they make decisions. They're looking for career development opportunities. They're looking for civic responsibilities. And so the insurance industry has an opportunity, a unique opportunity, to potentially be that industry of choice by tailoring our business around what's of interest to them, to bring them in and keep them for a while. If you look at some of the things that have gone in other industries as an example, and you look at the peer-to-peer models that are now surfacing outside of insurance and the financial services industries, this is, in terms of today's tech vocabulary, a disruption-ready industry. It's ready to take on change and think differently. And this next generation, the millennials, have an opportunity to help us do that.
We want to hear what they have to say, honestly.
Absolutely.
Say that risk management, nobody knew what the words meant when you put them together 10 years ago. So we've come a long way in helping educate society and our general business industry, what it means, but we have a long way to go to help get out of the media as a joke and at the butt of jokes in comedies and movies, and make a claims adjuster a respectable job. They do a great service to society, and I don't think they get the credit for it.
No, and you're spot on, Bijan. I mean, the reality of it is the millennials really want a sense of contribution. They want a sense, what we're learning at least, is they really want to feel like they're making a difference. And how can you not feel like you're making a difference when your day is surrounded by helping people return to work in the work comp industry, helping people get back to their families if it's some other type of liability or property and casualty issue. So, the contribution that they can make and feel good about what they're doing is right there. It's just the nature of the business. Right. The other thing that's intriguing about this is how do you attract this new talent into this industry? And Bijan went there a little bit, which is from a training perspective, from an educational perspective. If you look back, I just think of my own personal experience. I went to Michigan State for a certification program where comp was the only one in the industry. They had a school of risk management. It was unheard of back then. Now, and I don't know the count, but it's easily in the dozens. 20 or 30 schools have risk management programs, right. Insurance and financial services studies. We have friends whose children are going into study of risk management. They talk to me. So that's going to help. Is professionalizing the reputation of what we do. And I think our time has come, and they're going to help us get there. I think we need to adapt training in a way where we give them some content and give them some knowledge about what it is they're doing with the purpose. The other thing we mentioned earlier, the millennial population really wants to understand vision and purpose and mission. They want to understand core value. And if you train them in that, then let them kind of take over the positions now and figure out how to accomplish the goals on behalf of the client in those roles. So I think from where I sit, the training perspective is going to be very, very different. It's going to be far more collaborative versus dictatorial. And it's going to focus more on the mission and purpose and values, and then how do you go about getting it done.
And our industry has not done a good job in the last generation, at least the last 20 years, of establishing ongoing training programs for those people coming into insurance. And I think no one wants to be the first one to shoot the gun, because if they do, then someone's going to take that person and offer them $5,000, $10,000 more to come work for them. So the investment, there's a fear of that investment as much as they know it's of benefit. So I think that the industry leaders need to work together to figure out how we're all going to do this as a team, as an industry, because we need each other to survive. And you're not going to do it without a formal training program. There's some things out in the industry today that they're making some great strides, but I think that there's a lot more way. That's a long way to go, much longer way to go.
That's a really good point. I mean, when we've come up, as we've come up through this industry, the carriers tended to be the groups that trained the industry. So everybody talked about specific brands like Liberty Mutual and AIG, ACE. These are hallmarks in our industry about training. And then for whatever reason, loyalty on both sides kind of dwindled, and training kind of went by the wayside. And the fear now about investing in training, because it is a very expensive proposition, is that you train people and they leave. But again, going back to that whole industry of choice approach, if we become an industry of choice and embrace how to train and what ongoing training looks like, this generation is going to lead both with staying longer term with companies and helping to advance the industry in a beneficial way. So training is important. It's got to be done.